Hi guys, as part of our short series of videos, today we're going to go through the internal wall with sliding door, which is this little baby here. As you can see, it's not bad. This slots into your Hab block and creates a nice divide. So some of the people that did the larger packages, as part of their reward, they received these internal walls, which won't be due until phase 4 of the Hab block. So we'll quickly run through these today. Obviously we need PVA glue for this project, and again, relatively quick and easy to do, but we'll go through that today and we'll show you how. So great looking internal wall that fits, and we'll show you obviously the benefits to this very shortly. So again, like everything, it starts nice and simply. It's on a nice little bit of sheet, and again, with all of our stuff, you shouldn't need a knife. You should be able to just plug all of this out. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, I'm just going to try and pluck it out nice and neatly, so at least I know where all the bits are. So what we've got is everything's out. We've got your 2 main walls here. We don't need that. 2 main walls, and we've got our door. So we'll put that together first. Door components are there. These are the side walls, which again we'll put together very shortly. Don't need that either. So very quickly, first thing to choose is whether you're going to have a window in there, and if you're going to have the window, are you having the frame around it, or are you going to go for the whole thing out? So as you can see with this one, this has got the window with a hole in it. Purpose of the day, we're not going to have the window because it's easy enough to work out what you want to do with that. We're going to take the option and we're just going to leave the window in. Okay, so we don't need, we're going to take this tool components out. These are parts that we'll use later, so we'll keep them aside, and we'll just pop this one out as well, and we'll keep that to the side. So we have our, essentially our door. Now what's key about this is we use the components to widen the door, so we get that nice functionality out of it. So the first thing that we want to do is you have to be aware that the door needs to slide a decent distance. So you can see here, these spots means we've put some supports in there. You don't have to put them in, it's not compulsory, but we might want to move them back so the door will slide back further. You've got a choice here, and obviously these are for other components that you might get, because in phase 4 we're developing some other bits and pieces that will fit inside this. So for today we've got this spacer here, you can see them put in, so we're going to do them now. So all we need to do is we basically will pluck these holes out, and again, the more you get used to this, the more you will then see what you need to do and what you don't need to do, because you don't have to always do it the way that we do it. You will find there's a lot of different ways that this stuff can be done. Okay, and we've got the spacer in there, and again the spacer, we're probably going to choose to put the spacer in this one. So I've taken these holes out that I probably won't use, but again, once it's all sprayed up, it just adds to the detail, and you'll probably find as you go along, you'll use all of these holes for something. And then we've got our side components to fit in. It's really important to have the top hole, this one here, in this fixture and up the top end of the door. You'll see why later on, and also pluck that hole out. We don't need it. Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll just PVA along the edge of that, and I always PVA on the inner side. I'm not too fussy about the mess at the minute. You're probably going to be much neater when you do it. But again, for the purposes of the video, we're going to try and get this done relatively quick. Okay, get some tissue. I know we said we're going to start on the door, but if I do this first, this can be drying. And with PVA glue, you don't really always need, I haven't had to let stuff dry for a long time before I get to start on the next phase. So it should be, remember to pop the hole out on this. Really important. You'll see why later on. It's quite a neat little trick. And again, so we've got our 2 components there, yeah, and they'll keep there the space. So I'll just get another brush just to tidy up the excess. Do the same on the other side. Oh. This is what happens when you try and do it for speed, isn't it? Okay, tidy up there. Again, not overly concerned. Right, okay. So again, I'm just going to put that there. So that will get a little bit of drying time whilst we go onto the door. So the door's really simple. And again, most of the times we'll have a hole in the door. So again, you need to choose what you want. I like the frame in mine. I normally take the frame out if I'm going for a more rustic, but if it's going to be neater, then I'll go and keep the frame in. So, and I'm also going to pop out the handle, and I'm going to take this off. So what happens then is we'll take that out. These two components are what creates this top sliding part on here. So all we do, literally again, with the glue is we always glue the lower regions, and then I basically will slot this on top like that, and this fits lovely and nice and neatly in there like that, really easily. So again, I'll just take the excess off. Job done. Okay, I won't put the handle on at this stage, because if you put the handle on at this stage, you won't be able to slot the door in later on. So we then leave that now to the end. So I'm going to put that aside. Okay, so we've got a load of components here that we're not using yet. I'm going to grab the door again. So we have our door. Now, with our door, and again, down to the individual, we're going to put spaces in. We put the spaces in because effectively it allows it to go together, and it allows the door to move. So you can slide the door so you can see the spaces, just allow it. So we're going to take these hexes out, okay? And that's what we're going to have to then create the spaces. We're going to take all 4 of them out. Again, should just pop out, okay? And again, we'll break them up so we get all the hexes separately. And then all we do at this stage is plonk your hex in here. Nice little bit of glue. And again, I'm going to just spread it on the sides as a tad. And then we'll just get our hex, we'll plug it in. And again, as you do more of these, you might find that you're going to do it a different way to what I do, which is fine. You know, it's pretty flexible and forgiving, yeah? And the more you do this, you'll see, because you might put something in a hole that in later builds, you might not use that hole because you find that you've got something you might particularly do with it. So again, just going to put the spacer in. I'm going to put it on the top there. The reason why, it doesn't matter actually, yeah, it's fine. And then I'm going to put, let's have a look. I'm going to put it this way around because I don't want to affect the door closing. And I'm going to put this in that way around. Now again, you don't necessarily need this one, I don't think, because you've got the support here, but it's done anyway. And then what I'll do is on the inside of these, just again, a little bit of PVA glue on each of them. I'm going to put them on the square as well. And we're having the window closed, so it's not really, particularly, it's just the inside. So again, I'm just going to put PVA glue on the insides. Okay, that's done. Now, this can be slightly awkward. Sometimes it's better to take the holes out of this side as well. So I'm going to stand it up. So sometimes it's better to take the holes and match the holes. So we've chosen to take these ones out. This one here. And we've chosen to take this one out. So that's done. Now this bit can be slightly awkward and take a little bit of time, but you just, where you've got to match these up now, in an ideal world, it will go in lovely and easily. But because I'm doing a video, I'll probably guarantee you it's not. Well, not too bad. There you go. So we've put it together. That's done. Yeah, just going to tidy up a little bit of the edges. Get me. And you can now see how very quickly we've managed to put together a nice wall. And you can see already we're at a stage where it's pretty solid. So again, we've chosen to keep the windows in, doesn't mean anything. We've got the holes network system that we've got for the future when it's in the room. So it's good. If you can use less holes on this particular part, then you'll have that freedom of the holes on other bits and pieces, and you'll see that as you go along. You'll see how them holes will work for other bits and pieces. So again, nice and simply done. Hopefully our door should be all right. So the principle of the door is that we'll slide in like that. Yeah, so once we've got it settled, we'll just make it, once we've got it settled, there you go. Now initially it might be quite tight, which is fine, because the idea is once that dries, the door will become more solid. The door will fix and become more solid here, and then as you use it, you'll get to a point when this will slide open nice and easily. So you can see with our previous ones, we've had this made for quite a while, and you can see how easy that slides. It's just where at the minute you've got a lot of glue everywhere and things like that. So it just needs time to work itself in. So, and also I don't want to push it too much because it's not dry enough here to be able to support the door. But for now, I want to make sure the door handle goes in there. So that's what we're going to work on now. Now you can see we've still got quite a few bits and pieces left here, and we've got a few bits and pieces left here. So this will create the door handle. So I'm just going to be careful what I choose, because there's a number of little components in here. They're slightly different, but it's not a big deal. So let's just take all of these out. Okay, there's a couple in there, but this is an extra long component, and you'll see what we use them for. That one's short, so you can see extra long, short. We're going to take the short ones for the door, so we're going to take that, and also they're slightly off center. That's because they create the door handle when they plug together. They create a door handle and look like that. So we'll quickly do that. Again, we'll just dab some PVA glue in here. We'll get our two components, and we were going to go for, again, these ones. So I pop that in there, and you can see it's a double hole. So on the door on the other side, we've got that hole back where we can sit there and then use the other component to do the other side. Job done. Yeah? See, we now put the door handle on it. So I'm just going to tidy that up. And it's important that the glue will go places, and you know, we want to keep it. So what we ideally want to do now is let this dry. So once it's dry, then the door's nice and solid, and we've got the support for the door. We can use this part at the top here and just get a few pushes to loosen it up a bit. But for now, we're gonna have to put it aside, let it dry, and let this door fix. So again, it will end up getting like this. Now, I can't stand this up. You may notice that I can't stand it because I've got these supports in here. Now, these are really, really important. So as a wall, that's great. And in most cases, you just slot that in, job done. But because we're trying to make this versatile, we don't want you to commit to putting this into a Hab block and gluing it in. So what we've done, which we think is quite cool, what we've done is with the other components, with these components here, you use these and you basically, we'll plug two out. And what we do, and it's, again, this is your choice, you don't have to do this. You've got a choice, and you can stick these in here like that. So we are going to do that today because I like them in there, and I use them when they're in there. So let's plug that in. There you go. And again, nice and easy. We just literally plonk that there, make sure it's in line. Now, if you didn't use these cross sections in there, you could have used them here, and then the cross section would go into the base and come out, and it helps support it. So again, we're going to stick that in there. Now, before you do this next bit, you need this to really dry. So I would leave this for a little while. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you why we've got these in, and I'm going to show you the other bits and pieces, and I'll show you the next stage of this. So that's your component finished. That's how we've decided to have that today. Yeah, window stays in. We've got the supports inside the walls. They're in, keeping this nice and apart. So when we start using the door and put the door into play, this will then slide nicely. But again, we're letting that dry today so we can sit there and get this to have a good fix on the door. We put the handle in, and we've put these little components in the bottom here, which we're now going to let dry as well. So we've got all of that. on here, as you can see, we've got the sliding door. We've got the door handles, they're all fixed in, and we've got these components here fixed in, yeah? And remember, the hole, really important, has been pushed out of each of these, which we did at the beginning. So, I'll show you now why we've got that. So I've got a Hab Block. Yes, I put this Hab Block together. It's nothing special, it's just a quick fix. We've just taken some windows out of there, but our whole system is built around this whole network. So everywhere we've got these holes. Now we haven't put it on there for detail, although it does add detail to it and it looks quite good at the end. You can see it all matches in. It's all functional. So the idea is now this wall can literally, somebody else might just go, oh, you can now put your wall in there and you can glue it. Well, we don't want it to be permanent, so you can put your wall in there. Now these holes, these little things that we put in, match up to the holes that are in the bottom of the floor. You can see here some holes in the bottom of the floor, yeah, and it follows throughout. It goes everywhere in our whole designs, all of our designs. And the idea is that you can choose to have this door this way round, it doesn't matter, and you plug it in to the holes, yeah. So if I wanted to, the door's there, yeah, give me a nice little cubby hole, or I can put it in the middle of the room like that, or I can put it into this part of the room up here. And again, all you do is where you've got the holes, you just punch the holes out. Job done. And you can see we've now put the wall here. I can turn it around this way round. And do you know what? Every single game, I can have these separately. Because what's good about this is these extra long components will go into these holes, which will match these holes here. Now, this is solid. So when you start using the door, wall stays nice and sturdy, yeah? And if I want to change the game, I don't want this in anymore, I literally unplug this, pull it out, and I don't have to have it in. Or if I wanted it something different, and I wanted to create something different, it's dead easy just to then slot this in to somewhere else, like that, yeah, put your little lock in, like that, again, locks in, nice and solid. I don't have locks in both sides, it's in that side or it's in that side, depending on where we've got the holes, yeah. And again, you can see here, in this case, I wouldn't normally have there because it blocks the window up. But I've chosen not to take these windows out. So again, it's a nice door in, door through, yeah, job done. It's a really nice, easy system to do. And like I said, you take it out, yeah, unlock it, unplug it, yeah, it's simple. And what's great about this is when you see the internal walls will plug onto this. So when you see the internal wall video, you'll see it, and you'll see how we can use these holes then to plug internal walls. So I'm going to put that in there. Yeah, we're going to leave it. I'm going to plug it in, use the components, plug it in, and I'll use this for a later video to demonstrate then the internal walls. Okay, so you can see we're just going to let this dry. Once we've let this dry, we'll do some movement with the door, and then you'll be able to see how this door will then start to slide open and close really well. It's already getting there, but I'm worried, you know, we need to get it fixed into here. So that there, what we glued originally, is nice and tight, because that's what gives it, that's what you're going to be using to make it slide easy. Yeah? Okay? Right. Thank you. That's the end of this video. We'll do some others later on. Again, just to help you with your models. Okay? Thanks a lot. Cheers.